You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are champs. Yeah. Roll out to Freedom Park, rocking pink and black. Official tissue in the 305, bounty full of greats. The Battered fan with Chris and Dan dropping hot takes. Messi and the Herons start the season with a star on the crest. So 29 fan bases can cry, cause we the best. Sign homegrowns like Noah, Frey and Ruiz, replacing goats with greats. Yeah, Miles got the cheese and he called it. Freedom to dream was the backbone. From Lockhart to Miami, it feels good to be at home. Multiple times a week on YouTube and audio. Take the time to subscribe, like and share the show. So check and chat, grab your MLS cup and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get a star again.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, welcome back. Welcome everybody to episode number 541. Jesus, 541 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Dan Granada. Alongside me is always KBD. How are you doing, sir?
It's great to be back. I mean, even though those that aren't following the members only episodes, I've been on a couple of those, but it's to be on the flagship.
Yeah, because the last time you were on here was the post game for the Portland win, when we got our first win at New Stadium with the whole supporters group controversy and all that. And that was the last time we saw you on here. So it's been a while. It's been a little over 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed you traveling around the world because you're rich. But we are now at the midway point of the season, and we're ready to recap the mid part of the season. So before we get into the specifics and the questions, just overall, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, it's weird because, like, speaking about like with Inter Miami, like we're sitting in second place in the East. I mean, we should be feeling great, right? Like we've had success in the last couple games, and I don't know. I don't think I feel as optimistic as fan base totally does. I have my opinions about this Hoyos deal. I don't know if you want to get into it immediately, but I'm not a big fan of what's happening with that.
We can get straight into it just because it is what was the breaking news today. It's coming out that Hoyos is going to be the man with the plan. He's got the job until the end of the season now. So, I mean, we thought that this might be an interim type deal while we found somebody during the World Cup break. Apparently, that's not the case. Apparently, he's going to right this ship until the very end. That has me a little worried. I mean, I know a lot of people feel good because it's been so much more aggressive, that they like what they're seeing and they feel a little more comfortable with it. Me, not so much. I think our defense has been looked really, really shaky. I think that we've played against a lot of poor teams leading up to this World Cup break, so it's made the team look better than it actually is. I mean, look, the defense is so bad that the worst team in MLS scored 4 goals on you, Philadelphia. Like, that's not a good thing. If the worst team in the league scores 4 on you, yes, you scored 6 on them, but they scored 4 on you. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not. And then not only that, Danny, but then we also lose against Orlando City, who was arguably the worst team at the time, that also put 4 goals up on us. Like the Portland game is, I think, the only game that people walked away from and they're like, we did well and we dominated. I just want to make a quick point here. And I think, and I mean, I don't know how my connection is. I got to try to see if I can rewire my connection real quick. But I want to make okay, so it's terrible. So then keep talking. Let me see if I can do something real quick.
All right. So while you do that, shout out to Francisco Garcia, said great stream on Battered Cafeteros. For those that are Colombian or just for whatever reason want to watch some Colombian content, especially now that the World Cup's right around the corner, we have a Battered Cafeteros. I go on there with Jorge Torres and Xavier La Voz. You guys know Xavier from Las Garzas. We go on and we're talking cafeteros in English. because there's plenty of Spanish shows, but we realize that there's none in English. So we figured we throw in a different little sauce in there. So we talk, I guess you could say Spanglish, but more than anything, it's English. For those of you that are interested, it's Battered Cafeteros is the YouTube channel. I know I see a lot of people talking about the World Cup in the chat. For those that want some World Cup talk, I got two different channels for you. If you're interested in the U.S. men's national team, you got the Battered Soccer Fans. And if you are interested in World Cup talk in general, Chris is going to be his first head dive in to the World Cup. We're going to be talking international on Battered Footy. So make sure that you check out that channel. And that's going to be starting this weekend. We're going to drop our first show. That's before the World Cup. And then we're going to be covering the World Cup, I'm hoping, just about every day. So we'll see. But yes, if you want, because Battered Herons, as you can see, we did one episode last week. We're going to do one this week. Well, actually, we might do two this week. We haven't decided yet. But if you want consistent football talk from the Battered Network, we're going to be doing Battered Footy more than anything this week, this month, because we're going to be talking nonstop about the World Cup. And then after that, we're going to keep going with all the transfer news from around the world. A lot of things happening just today. I mean, because there's big signings. I mean, it's just the world's game. So there's things going on all the time. And then just one quick shout out to PSG. I'm not necessarily a PSG supporter, but they seem to have a lot of players that I've always liked, right? They had Messi, Ronaldinho. This is the Ronaldinho kit that I'm wearing. So shout out to them. Won their second back-to-back Champions League final. I don't know if you got to catch the final, Chris. I texted you to turn it on if you had a chance, because it was a really entertaining final. And I feel bad for Gabriel that missed that PK at the end. But that's enough world football talk. Chris, it looks like you might have fixed your internet.
A little bit. It's still kind of shaky, but I'm just gonna bully right through it. I think one of the problems that's happening is Javier Mascherano came in as a coach to coach this team, right? He won the MLS Cup. And now he has some confidence, and now he has enough confidence to want to keep coaching this team with whatever play style and whatever formula and whatever formation that he wants to construct. And what ends up happening is Hoyos comes in. He's the substitute teacher. The main teacher always has a plan in place. The main teacher always has like an agenda, a certain thing that they want to work throughout each semester. And Guillermo Hoyos just came in with his leather jacket and his coffee mug that's got scotch in it, and he's just letting the kids play. So at this point, it's essentially the substitute teacher just allowing the kids to do whatever they want. And guess what? Pretty good at soccer. And they don't need as much guidance. So obviously, when you're not following, things to a T, like by Mascherano, obviously people are going to do well and score goals because there's no structure. It's just a fucking madhouse.
I disagree. I think that there's
I thought that you would agree with that more than anybody.
No, I don't think that there's just nothing that he's just doing, just like. And then real quick, up on the top left, on top of
he's
Chris
doing
right there,
absolutely nothing.
That's the QR code for Battered Footy. If anybody wants to use the QR code, if not in the chat, I put the link. So what I was gonna say is he's made the team more aggressive.
He's doing absolutely nothing. That's
not true, because look, why is Yannick Bright now playing the single pivot? Because he gave Rodrigo De Paul and Telasco Segovia the freedom to push up, to be more aggressive. Same thing with the fullbacks. So when you have the fullbacks pushing up, you have Rodrigo De Paul pushing up, you have Telasco Segovia pushing up, you have Berterame up there, you have Messi up there, he has Suarez starting now. All of a sudden, you have, 8 players up there? Like, that's very aggressive. You're pressing with all those players also. So you're constantly in your own half. In the opposing half. So, of course, you're going to produce more goals because you have so many players up there, connecting with the balls, putting in dangerous balls into the box. You have more bodies in the box. So it makes sense that what he's doing is giving us more opportunities to score. But in that same in that same strategy, I guess, like you say, in the same tactics. When you do that, you're leaving Yannick Bright out there by himself in front of either Mikael and Falcon or Mikael and Lujan, and you got three guys back there just in position to try to defend the counter. And we've been caught with our pants down quite a bit. But for the most part, that's what's happening. We're pushing all the numbers forward, which is fun to watch, but you're leaving yourself susceptible to the counter, which is also what's happening and the reason that we were getting scored on so bad.
Okay, but in terms of being aggressive, though, Danny, I think it doesn't take a rock scientist to be able to look at the middle three that you have. Be like, who are my three best guys? RDP, Segovia, and Bright. And then say, instead of playing two guys defensively and one guy up offensively, let's go ahead and put Segovia, who's better on offense than he is on defense, RDP, who's better on offense than he is on defense, and keep Bright back there just harassing midfielders that are trying to attack our defense. So, like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, what he's doing isn't like rocket science, Danny. Like, he's not structuring anything that's like mind-blowing for this team. He's just front-loading this team, getting more goals, and he's sitting there saying, we're going to score more goals than you. How about that?
Well, yeah, that's fair. And my issue isn't so much what he's doing to score more goals. It's not easy. It's not. That's not my issue. My issue is that when there's been halftime adjustments, for example, the other teams have done better than we have. They've adjusted to whatever happened in the first half better.
Well, because he does nothing
in the second half. Exactly. Well, because he's not a good coach. He's not a good manager. Yes, he has good players. He has better players than the other team. And then
he's a substitute teacher.
And somebody put it up here. Now, well, what they did, and it was Nick. Nick put the standing of the competition that we recently beat as far as Supporter Shield goes. What I wish Nick would have put is the standings as far as where the defense for these teams stand. Because we beat up on the worst defense in the league. I think it was like the second worst defense in the league, the fourth worst defense in the league. And we're talking about 30 teams here. And we've been beating up on really bad teams. So yes, our offense is much better than most opposing teams' defenses. Because in MLS, because of the salary cap, most defenses aren't very good. So if you're playing one of the worst defenses, and then you have people like Messi, Suarez, DePaul, Segovia, you have these type of players in the attack, and we're overloading their final third or our final third. Obviously, we should score a lot of goals. So what he's doing isn't rocket science, I understand, and it's a very aggressive way to go. And if our players are better than theirs, we're going to have success. But when we're playing against better competition, they're going to make us pay on the other end. And we've been playing against some crappy competition. So my thing isn't so much that he hasn't done anything. I think he has done. He said, I'm going to outscore the other team. That's the way he wants to play, and that's fair, and it's worked up until now. But when we start playing against better competition and better defenses that can defend better than the defenses that we've been playing against, it's not going to look as good, and we're going to pay on the other end also. If you play against a Nashville or a Vancouver the way we've played, it's not going to look as pretty. So that's ultimately my stance on Hoyos.
But that's the thing. Like, I think I'm not willing to attach that our success now is because of Hoyos and who he is and how he plans and how he orchestrates.
Of course not.
Again,
No.
To me, he is a substitute teacher that is essentially allowing his kids to do whatever the hell they want. Basically looked at the team and said, we're pretty good offensively. We're kind of sucky defensively. So let's play more offensively and just do that better than the other team does. And that's it.
Coming from Barcelona guy, playing attacking football is so fun. It is, right? But when you have Puyol back there, like, you're good. Like, we don't have Puyol, we have Falcon. Yes, the hair's similar, but it's not the same talent. Like, it's different. You can't play like that when you're playing with the back line that we have and when you're playing against better competition. Because, look, in the last few games that we played, we haven't played top-tier attacks. Cincinnati, I want to say, is probably the best.
But Danny, I have a question because the last game that Mascherano coached, was it the RSL game or the game against New England?
New England, I believe. It was the last draw that we had at home.
Okay, so that was against New England. So yeah, you guys want fun football? We had fun football. Inter Miami and Orlando was 7 total goals. Toronto, Inter Miami was 6 total goals. Cincinnati, Inter Miami, 8 total goals. 2 goals total out of Inter Miami and Portland, which was a shutout, luckily for us. And the last game we had was a 10-goal bonanza. That doesn't scream gameplay. That screams get the best players to do their best things ever games. And that, like, I wait, hold on. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you with my connection or whatever. But again, there's so many people that are putting up. There's people that are putting up things about how Hoyos had a better record, you know, for percentage wise or whatever the case is, than Mascherano and other coaches. Hoyos is not the difference maker. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like Javier Morales, who I saw in the stands against Portland, he could have gone down there and just allowed these people to do whatever they want, and at the same time, we'd be scoring tons of goals.
This is my thing. And shout out to Nick, gave us the number of goals against. I was looking at the standings just to see how bad they were, but yes, Philadelphia, look, giving up tons of goals. Cincinnati, 37 goals against. Like, these are really bad defenses. I lost my train of thought when I saw Nick's comment. Oh well, it'll come back to me. All in all, the Hoyos thing, I'm not necessarily a fan of. Man, I was gonna say something. I can't remember now. Well, I just got to move on because I can't keep thinking here. But like I said, Hoyos, I'm not in love with. Chris, I'm not sure if he's there or not because he's frozen on the screen. I'm not sure if he's still there or not.
I'm here.
Okay, you can speak because I can't see you because you're frozen, so I have no idea.
Well, I think that what you were bringing up, because Nick brought up, and I'll see if maybe this could refresh your memory, talking about the goals against, as far as like the teams that we faced. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty awful defenses. Like RSL, for them to be the worst defensive team, I guess that they're pretty high on the Western Conference.
RSL isn't that bad defensively. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but ultimately, what you're doing right now is you're playing fun ball, and that's great, and it's working against bad competition. But we had this already. We did this with Tata, and everybody killed him for the way he was playing, and everybody said you can't win that way. And now we've convinced ourselves that we want to win that way. The way that we were playing with Mascherano, our defense was a little tighter. Yes, we were drawing a lot, and I understand you want to win, you don't want to draw. And I never thought Mascherano was the best in the world, but you know how we gave Mascherano no credit for benching Suarez because they're like, oh, he backed into that because of the red card, right? Oh yeah, you know. And we decided, oh, we're not going to give him any credit for that, even though he decided to keep him off the field, right? Like he made that choice, but nobody wants to give him credit for that. But yet, for some reason, everybody's giving credit to Hoyos for starting Suarez. Who else was he going to start? Allende's in Spain with the knee surgery. Silvetti's out. We have no other wingers. He was forced to start Suarez. Was he going to do it if these guys were healthy? I don't think so. But everybody's giving him credit for that. But when Mascherano did it, no, we can't give him credit for that. And look, and I'm not here to do the whole Mascherano versus Hoyos thing. At this point, it doesn't really matter. My whole thing is the way Hoyos is coaching, I don't think is sustainable for long-term success. I don't think that you can just outscore teams all the way, because when you play like that, you leave yourself open to an upset. And we saw it against Atlanta with Tata. And everybody's like, oh, no, we need a more defensive coach. And then we got Mascherano. Everybody's like, oh, he was a center back. He was a center defensive midfielder at one point also. He's a defensive-minded guy. He's going to fix this defense. But now we're like, oh, no, let's outscore the other teams again. I don't see this happening. And let me tell you something. If Casemiro comes and he takes Bright's spot and not Segovia's spot, that defense is going to suffer even more. If Casemiro takes Segovia's spot and he's playing a little further up the pitch and he can get back and forth, that's fine. Okay, we'll be in the same spot that we're at right now, possibly better because Casemiro is obviously a far superior midfielder than anybody we have right now. But if you are going to put Casemiro as that last line of defense in the midfield and take Yannick Bright off, I promise you this defense is going to look worse. Because he does not have the pace to get back like Yannick Bright does. That's the only thing that Yannick Bright probably has on Casemiro right now, and it's the pace, just because of their age. So if Casemiro comes in, which, by the way, we'll get into that with Ben Creme also, because Cremita got sold. But if Casemiro comes in and he takes Yannick Bright's starting spot and he is now the lone pivot, we're going to look even worse defensively.
Can I mention something here? Because Boss Daddy made a comment, said, Hoyos bench Mura for Frey. I thought Chris would be happy.
That's a good move.
Again, Boss Daddy, he wants more offense. And he's not stupid. He's going to look at, like, what's going to bring me goals? Frey is going to bring me goals. So that's not exactly like this game-changing substitution.
And Sean Callahan said Casemiro can play the Boosie role. Not necessarily. I don't know if you remember, but when Boosie was playing for us, he always needed somebody next to him. We always played a double pivot with him because he couldn't be back there by himself when he couldn't defend the counter. So we always had Bright next to him. We had DePaul next to him. Right? That's why we said DePaul couldn't be as good as he usually is because he didn't have the freedom to do the things that he usually does. If Casemiro comes in, unless Hoyos is going to change the way he's playing, if Hoyos is going to stay as aggressive as he is, they're going to stick with the lone pivot. And if Casemiro is that lone pivot, he's not playing the Boosie role. He's playing the, holy crap, what am I going to do and have everybody running at me role. He's not going to have the freedom to do what he usually does with these better teams. When he's with Real Madrid and he has Toni Kroos and Modric next to him. Like, he doesn't have these. Well, he has Sergio Ramos behind him. He has Varane behind him. Like, he doesn't have these guys behind him to cover him when he's out of position. He's going to be our best defender. So, and Sean Callahan, Boosie did not play a lone pivot last year. It was always a double pivot. He always had somebody next to him. Always. And also, he doesn't deliver the ball like Boosie did. Nowhere near. Like, he's a good passer. But he's not the passer that Busquets is. So I think our defense is going to suffer a lot if we're going to keep playing the same style of football and Casemiro is going to take that Bright role. I really hope that they just have him a little further up with DePaul and then they leave Bright back there. Because if not, I think that it's going to be bad. And I don't know what you did, Chris, but your internet's much better right now. Oh, shit. Forget it. I take it back. He just disappeared.
No, the internet is just god awful. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I mean, you were gone for 3 weeks. It felt like it's only appropriate that you come back with shitty internet.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm. And Casemiro cannot play the Boosie role.
Let me see
he's
if
not
I
the
can
same
get
type of player.
connected here on
Casemiro
my
is the
phone.
gold card version of Bright. Yes. He is a defensive stalwart. He is not bad. I think he's better at distributing the ball than Bright. Absolutely. And he's a great finisher. For anybody that's watched Real Madrid or even Manchester United recently, he's a great finisher. He will take a shot. If he gets the ball inside the box, it's going to end up in the back of the net if he has a good shot at it. Unlike Bright. Bright has blown a couple opportunities. But defensively, no. You can't put him in the type of formation that we have going right now and the type of gameplay as aggressive as they're playing and leave him back there by himself with just Mikael and Lujan behind him. Like, that's what you want. You want Casemiro out back there with just Lujan and Mikael behind them? Come on. No, that can't work. Now, I do believe that there's going to be another 3 or 4 moves coming this summer, so we'll see what they do with that. But, Chris, you back? Much better. How is it that your phone is better than your Wi-Fi?
Well, it's not. Again, I just want to be clear about this. It's not my Wi-Fi. It's the computer. The computer is what has all the Roblox bugs.
Oh, all the
So
STDs.
yeah, I mean, this computer is a complete disaster. So
And I've told you, dude, just get another one. What do you say? No, I need to get the top of the
I
line.
need to get a
Yeah,
good computer. I'm not gonna go and buy some rando computer. I'm not. Why
yeah,
would I do
because
that? Waste my
yeah,
money?
right. Why would you waste your money to have a poor computer and do the show in bad quality?
I'm not gonna get Stancy's saying just get a new cheap laptop. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go get if I'm gonna go get a computer, I'm gonna get a very good computer. I'm not gonna, you know what it is? You waste money buying decent stuff when at the end of the day you're gonna get good stuff. So go get good stuff. So I'll wait and I'll save the money and I'll get something. How can I sell my PC, soccer daddy? Nobody's gonna take
I'm sure
this.
somebody will buy it. There's a lot of people that like to fix those things.
Well, I haven't found them. If you guys know people that want to fix the computers, let me know and I'll find them so I can keep this shit.
Um. Oh, and then now that you just got off topic for a second. Shout out to all our
Yeah.
members. Appreciate you guys being members. This morning's Ventanita episode, I want to
Fire.
first apologize, but also say it was awesome.
Yes.
We somehow
Fire.
started talking about gas stations. Then we started talking about the dangerous birds in the world.
Yes.
And we just went off on a tangent. And I don't know, we ended up somewhere. And I don't think we ever addressed Inter Miami. But very fun show. So for those of you that are members and you have the access, make sure you check that out because that was a fun episode this morning. So yeah. Yep, invest in yourself. Apple MacBook Pro, sir.
Well, and it's funny that he mentions that because the computer I wanted to buy was like the Apple little box computer. But the problem is that when you buy the box computer, you got to get the screen too. So like, oh, now I got to get the screen, but I can't get no crappy screen. Got to get a nice screen. But then the nice screens are like $1,000 something.
Check it out. I saw this episode.
Buc-ee's.
Wawa is good, but Bucky's is better.
Buc-ee's.
Mm.
But we can't say anything because we've never been to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, that's true. And Chris and I was talking about how the American Eagle is a little bitch, which is a whole nother thing.
That's just something that I've kind of read, like that
Yeah.
the American Eagle is not really like a tough bird. Like that's kind of like the worst bird to get as an American is a non-tough bird. Why would you pick the bald eagle?
I don't know. I've always thought the bald eagle was pretty badass until you told me that this morning.
I mean, it looks like it's super badass. The problem is like I think the truth is that it's like kind of a pansy.
All right. So, first half of the year, Chris.
Be a member, Sean. That's when you can figure out what other bird. Be a member, Papa.
We started off the season. Let me pull up the schedule. Actually, we started off the season with the loss to LAFC. We started off the season with the loss to LAFC, 3-0. But after that, we had the Orlando comeback win, which was probably one of the best wins of the season.
Yes.
We beat DC, and then we drew with Nashville. We drew with Charlotte. We drew with Nashville again, which ended up leading to our elimination. So we never actually lost to Nashville. We just drew twice.
We lost in the series, but okay.
Right. We got eliminated. We didn't lose, but we got eliminated.
Lost.
And then there was 3 draws in a row. Then we beat NYCFC, which at the time NYCFC was rolling, and they were doing very well up until that point. We beat them in New York, which is the sandbox where we have a hard time winning games.
Absolutely.
Then we drew with Austin, which was the first game here at home. We drew with the Red Bulls, the second game here at home. And then Mascherano was let go. So up until that point, we had only lost 1 game, but we got eliminated from CCC. I thought that Mascherano deserved to be here until the end of the World Cup, until the World Cup break at least. I do believe that he walked out himself, that he didn't choose this, that he didn't get fired. I think that it was just because he saw the writing on the wall, and it's one of those "you can't fire me, I quit" type of deals. But I think that that's what happened with Mascherano. Up until that point, I thought that we weren't great, obviously, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 games into the season. I thought with the addition of Berterame, which was playing like crap, Allende being garbage, Silvetti not being healthy. I thought, for the most part, if you would have given this team a little more time, this team could have done better. I honestly did. So, I didn't think that they were doing that bad under Mascherano. Obviously, we weren't scoring as many goals as we are now, but I didn't think we were doing that bad.
I don't think we were doing that bad either. But at the same time, like when you got Hoyos in the back room, wheeling and dealing, making us sign Beterame and sign Ayala, and then forcing Mascherano to have to give these crumbs playing time. Like, obviously, he's not going to look the best. Like, you don't think that that's a part of it? That Hoyos, in essence, just wheeling and dealing, didn't understand that, like, these players not only have to sound sexy, but they have to play as well. Like, David Ayala, to me, is a complete fucking bust.
No, he just haven't had a chance to play.
Hasn't had a chance to play. Like, he's played some games. I mean, he hasn't played like 90, but at some point he did have like a game or two that he was able to play some consistent minutes. Like, David Ayala was supposed to be a player that you plug in and go. Like, he was projected to take Yannick Bright's job.
But remember, he was injured, and Yannick Bright came in and did such a good job that you just didn't see where David Ayala would fit in.
Look, this is the one thing that I can understand, maybe. Look, Stancy said that his father passed away and that he had a bad start due to that, which is understandable. I can be able to see that. But after a couple weeks of that...
But then Yannick Bright took over.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Yannick Bright was going to take over whether he liked it or not.
Right, but what I'm saying is he didn't even have a chance, is what I'm saying.
Same thing with Mura. Mura got brought in, and it's like, oh, look at this shiny Argentine. This guy's going to do great. And all of a sudden, everybody sees that he's a crab. He's terrible.
So, again, up until that point, our offense obviously wasn't looking as good, but our defense was looking better than it has right now. And up until that point, we had been shut out 3 times. We got shut out the opening game against LAFC. We got shut out that first game in Nashville, and we got shut out against Charlotte that following game. But that game was heavily rotated, right? If I'm remembering correctly, that Charlotte game.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a heavily rotated game. Luis Suarez started up top with Pinter. You had David Ruiz start. You had Ayala start. You had Santi Morales start. You had Noah Allen and Lujan as the 2 center backs. So that was a heavily rotated squad right there.
Chandler's making a good point. Okay, Hilon is the only one that came in, contributed, and he got hurt in the first friendly. And that's a player that I look at and I'm like, this guy, when he's on it and he's not injured, is somebody that we can be able to look at and be like, this guy is a difference maker. Now, could that be pointed to the experience that he has and who he is and his stature or whatever the case is? Then, yeah, I guess, but at the same time, it's unfortunate to have to go through these sort of injuries. Boss Daddy saying Ayala is about to be gone anyways. And Ash is making a great point. Not winning any trophies with Hoyos. I don't know about not winning any trophies because we still have that one game against some Mexican team, I think. Is it the Liga MX team, Danny?
It was Toluca that just won the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They just won it this past weekend.
But again, in any one game, anybody can win, and that could be something that we could potentially win. So you can't say we're not going to win any trophies.
I wouldn't be looking forward to that much. So all in all, Mascherano leaves after that draw with the Red Bulls, and then we start on the West Coast trip, and we start against Colorado, which at that point was kind of just on the decline because they started really hot and they've been declining. Then I don't even think they're in the playoffs anymore. Yeah. They were declining, and then we went to Salt Lake, which I think is the best win out of Hoyos' tenure, which has been 8 games. I think the Real Salt Lake game was the best one, which was a 2-0 win. So it wasn't anything crazy, but I thought that was a great game. Yeah. And then we came and we drew with New England 1-1.
So wait, So Mascherano coached us while we were with RSL then.
No,
Or okay, so the game against RSL was his first win.
second win. He beat
His
Colorado.
second win. That's right. Okay.
So they beat Colorado. They beat Salt Lake. Then they drew with New England at home.
Yes.
And then they lost
Got
that
it.
Orlando game, which
Yes.
was the
The home
lowest point
opener.
of the season.
Not
Yeah.
the home opener, but the first possible win for us.
Yeah. That was the first win ever at New Stadium,
Yeah.
just not by us.
Yeah. What a disaster.
So, and up until that point, the Colorado, RSL, New England, and Orlando games, we were getting outcoached in the second half.
Yeah.
Then we went to Toronto, and then Toronto, we won 4-2. If I'm not mistaken, I believe in that game we ended up getting outclassed in the second half also, but it wasn't as much as in the prior games. And then we ended up coming home. Oh no, we beat Cincinnati that 5-3 game. So another 8-goal game.
You want to know what I think was the difference maker? It's Suarez. Suarez is the difference maker. You guys want to talk about Hoyos and people want to give numbers about Hoyos. Suarez is the change that we needed. And anybody want to argue that can go argue against a wall because you're wrong. Why? Because I said so. And
then
that's
we beat Cincinnati 5-3. Then we won our first 2 home games, 2-0 against Portland, and then 6-4 against Philadelphia, which was the last game, which was against the worst team in MLS. We beat them 6-4. That's the first half. Messi was carrying us for a large portion of that first half. He's had one hell of a recent run of play. I'm sorry, I didn't see that comment.
Stancy says Mosh was on a podcast or something recently. Looked so much happier. Poor guy was so stressed here. I mean, after winning the MLS Cup, I imagine that there's somewhat of a relief, but at the same time, I think the problem is with all the acquisitions made, there was a lot of heightened pressure on him. I feel like if he would have just had his guys and he would have been able to take more control of who he wanted to get, I think that this could have been a little different for Mascherano.
How many opportunities did Berterame have to score in those first couple of games where we drew? A lot of those draws could have been wins because Berterame had some blown opportunities. Yeah, maybe they don't have as many opportunities as they have with Hoyos, but defensively we were a little more stout. We weren't great, but more stout than we are right now. And we were blowing some of those opportunities. So I think that if Mascherano is coaching, you don't think that we have a very similar, if not the same record?
I think that we would have a similar record. I don't know about the goal output. I feel defense.
The goals would be different, but we'd also get scored on less.
But yeah, exactly. And I think we'd still be sitting in the same place. I don't know about the goal the differential in terms of how much goals we've scored or allowed, but I do think that we'd be sitting in the same place. Absolutely. I think that Mascherano right now probably looks at Mura and Berterame. I don't want to say hates them, but really looks at them like, you're the reason I lost my job.
Berterame leads the team in big missed chances with 9, by the way.
That's terrible.
I don't doubt it.
I mean, the only reason that Allende doesn't lead it is because he's in Spain at a Baptist Health in Spain right now.
Oh, this is the Casemiro roster. My fault.
Ooh.
All right. So this is basically our best 11 up until the halfway point. When we're going to look this over, and we're going to do an episode where we give grades for every single player.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that maybe next episode. Where do you think we need to add during this World Cup break? Because we believe that Casemiro's on his way. We do believe that, right? There we go. That's what I want to see. If Casemiro comes, this is what I want to see. As much as I like Segovia. what do we need to add in this World Cup break? Do you need to add anything? Cremita officially got sold to Parma, or is going to get sold to Parma. So that money, which I believe was 4 million, is going to be used to pay Casemiro's contract. Like Casemiro's a done deal. Like he's going to be coming. So, what do you think we need to improve on? What changes need to be made when the break starts again?
I mean, I think it's obvious. I think that we need a left winger, like a true left winger. Like, I think that is at this very moment probably the best change. I mean, I had to move my phone so I could look at the screen.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
And actually, if you put up your computer, even though you're not using it, you could probably see everything. Because I see you're still logged on to the computer.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah.
Okay. What's interesting is that I keep forgetting to switch it because Berterame is playing the striker position, and Luis Suarez is kind of playing the Messi role out left. You know how Messi is given the freedom to roam? I feel like Luis Suarez has been given that same liberty out on the left, because you see him in the center of the box. You see him helping out on the right. Like, he's all over the place. And I think he's done very well in that role. And he gives Region a chance to push up with overlapping runs on the left. Frey's always had that on the right. So, yeah, we need a left winger. But if you get a left winger, I think Suarez ends up on the bench again because they're going to keep Berterame as a striker.
Well, but at the same time, I think the problem is maybe what's happening is that the pace has slowed down because of Suarez. So you don't necessarily need Messi and Suarez shooting up the flanks, right? Like shooting up the sides. So you slow the game down where you can have Suarez a little bit more in control. And then basically you want to know what Hoyos's break in case of emergency is. His break in case of emergency is this guy off the bench. The name escapes me. This freaking guy. No, not Pinter, the Argentine kid. Mierda.
Silvetti?
Yeah, Silvetti. That's his break in case of emergency.
I feel like if after the break, the roster stays relatively similar and Silvetti's healthy, he needs to start. I feel like Silvetti needs to start.
No, I don't know. With this team, I don't know if he's the best to start. I think it's weird because I would like to have him starting, but then Berterame get the hell out of here and Suarez goes up top. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but that's what I would do.
So Messi has the right wing, right?
I would start Suarez. I know you're not against that. You love Berterame and you love his Mexican nationalism, and you love everything that he brings, all the hustle and bustle with his
that's
DP.
not the case at all.
Yeah, you should get a Bete jersey.
Yeah, like right away. Let me run out there. My thing isn't so much Berterame. It's Allende's been gone. Messi's not playing that false 9 anymore. He's also not playing the cam role. He's not playing the 10 role anymore. He's playing that right wing role.
Yeah.
So Allende is not going to have that role anymore when he comes back. So you have Messi out the right wing. You have either Suarez or Berterame as a striker. Who's taking that left wing spot? You telling me that you'd rather have Allende out there than Silvetti?
No, I mean, I'd rather have Silvetti over Allende. But wait, go back and say what you were just saying. Messi at the right wing.
Yeah, let me pull it up. So we have Messi out right because he's on the right wing now. So we have him out there. That's usually where Allende used to play.
Yes.
Right? Because we used to play with the double pivot and Messi would be on the top. Right? So now we have our two midfielders, which are going to be Segovia and DePaul or Casemiro and DePaul, whatever that may be. So we're using Messi as the right wing. Then on striker, we're going to have either Berterame or Suarez.
Suarez.
So let's say, okay, Suarez. All right. So you really think that they're going to bench Berterame? They're not.
I think, well, look, unfortunately or fortunately, however you guys want to look at it, Berterame has scored goals in recent games. So I think the idea is, well, he's in a mojo, so let's not blow it. So they're going to keep him
2
starting.
months off. There's 2 months off. That mojo wears off.
Well, I mean, look, you don't know this kid. This kid's probably practicing scoring goals right now at New Stadium as we speak. Like, what else is he gonna do? Like, I need to see video of him scoring goals from every angle of the pitch until the season starts again.
So Allende comes back possibly after the World Cup break. You think we stick with the same lineup?
Yeah, I think that Allende has to play himself back into the lineup.
Okay. I don't think so.
What?
But
You
we'll
think
see.
they're just gonna bring him back from Baptist Health España
They love
and
him.
just
They love
dump
him for
him
some reason.
into the right wing, like after
Left
coming
wing.
out of after coming out of the cast? Like, there's no way they're gonna just drop him from a hospital bed, delivered directly from Spain onto the starting lineup.
Chandler says he doesn't think that he'll be back. And then have to wait to see who else they bring in besides Casemiro. I do believe that they're going to bring somebody else. I do believe that Segovia is probably going on. Maybe Bright also. We'll see. But like I said, and I can't stress this enough, if Casemiro comes to play the Bright role,
Then it's
that's not
Rapsos.
defensively, we are going to suffer. Everybody that's like, oh no, but Casemiro defensively, that's what he does. That is what he does. But on this team, when behind him he has a Lujan, which up until this season we couldn't stand the idea of him playing. We're gonna have Lujan and Mikael, which has been pretty solid, but that's who it's not Sergio Ramos and Varane anymore. Like that's not what you have back there. Like, come on. I don't know. I'm worried. He can't be that lone center defensive midfielder. I think that's a mistake.
Let me tell you, you know what I've really been wanting to do, and this is kind of diabolical, but like I think I'm gonna take this summer to do this. I'm gonna watch every game back this season, and I'm gonna specifically watch Mikael because there's so many people that are on the Mikael I love you train.
I'm one of them.
And I'm very hesitant with it. Like,
you don't think he's been the best defender on the team this year?
I feel like our center backs have been super suspect, and he's just sort of the least of the suspects. And everybody is on the Mikael I love you train, and I'm not there yet. I haven't paid my ticket. I don't want to get on the platform just yet. I'm not there with you guys.
Okay.
Like, you know what? Should I do a poll for this?
Oh boy, we've missed those.
Yeah, let me do a poll. What? Bring out the trusty keyboard. There's the keyboard, guys. This is the trusty keyboard. I usually keep it leaning on the screen.
For anyone that's joined the show late, and they're wondering what that random QR code is on the top left, we were talking about obviously with Battered Herons, we're not doing as many shows during the summer because there's not a lot going on. We're still going to try to do 1 or 2 shows a week, maybe at least 1, maybe 2. But we will be coming on very often talking World Cup. We're just not going to do it on here because we want to keep true to this channel and true to the fact that we're just talking to Miami on this channel because that's kind of Chris calls it the flagship. This is how we got started, and we love Inter Miami. So we want to keep this just true to just Inter Miami. So we have I'm sorry, Chris, real quick. The Battered Footies. That's the YouTube channel where we're going to be talking World Cup all summer long. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe already. And then that QR code is for that. So if you scan that QR code, it'll take you straight to that YouTube page. So make sure you subscribe. We're going to put out our first show probably this weekend. So getting ready for the World Cup. So make sure that you join us for that. Because like I said, if you want to talk some battered footy, that's where we'll be all summer long.
Now, let's put this poll back up. Do you have tickets for the Mikael train, guys? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I don't understand the super love for Mikael. Like, he's okay.
I think he's been solid.
I feel like if you were to put Lujan and Noah Allen at center back, they'd be better than Lujan and Mikael.
Really? So you think
Yes.
Noah Allen's a better center back than Mikael?
I think that Noah Allen is a better left center back than Mikael. Yes. For this team. Now, I do feel like Mikael has something that no other center back has, which is size.
Yeah,
Yes.
size. Yeah.
That is something that is not debatable.
Hmm.
But I'm not on the train. Am I insane, Mike B? I'm insane. One world, one goal saying choo choo. I mean, so like I'm out. So I'm out of my league in this. Then
I like that comment, Italia.
you know what, this kind of response right here, guys.
It
This is
just
what's
makes him dig his heels in even
oh,
deeper.
it's my whole body is in the sand right now. Are you
He's
kidding me?
about to go start that video right now.
I am going to watch the first game of Mikhail. I will record every moment that I see him just do the wrong thing once. You guys will see it. Chris L. Ball knowledge, Nick? Are you serious?
Oh man, Boss Daddy, if you only knew this guy is just that annoying. Yes, no, it's not rage bait. This is really him. It's horrible. It's really him, and he really is gonna make that video now.
Yeah.
So I guess in a nutshell, Chris, first half of the season, how are you feeling? And I asked the chat the same, just in a few words. How are you feeling after the first half? Are you feeling optimistic for the second half? Incomplete? We're cooked, as you like to say. Like, how are you feeling?
Well, 91% voted that, yeah, they have tickets for the Mikhail trade.
I mean, look,
So,
you're not saying like nobody thinks that he's going to get sold to a European team tomorrow, but he was good enough in MLS to get sold to one of the best teams in South America, Palmeiras. He couldn't crack the starting lineup very often, so he came back, but he is a top defender here in MLS.
Mike B saying Chris accumulating apology letters faster than Hoyos selling extended warranties. Check on your Acura, buddy. Check on your Acura because Hoyos probably sold you guys a bad one. I look again. We have better players than the other team, unless we play against Nashville or I don't know. I mean, there's maybe like one or two other
Vancouver.
teams that I'd be worried about. Yeah, like if we play one of those guys, then yeah, I'm worried because we're gonna get out coached. But if we take our players and play their players and just take the coaching out because that's what we have no other choice but to do, I'm okay. Like when it gets to a point where coaching matters, we're completely cooked. We're completely done.
Well, and you know what? This year, the Eastern Conference has looked terrible. If you look at the Eastern Conference, every single team outside of Nashville and Miami, I'd like to say I
Yeah,
don't believe them at all. I don't believe
yeah,
in any of them. Chicago's like the closest I get to believing in another team. Just because Synchronago and Kuipers are deadly. It's a deadly duo. And then I don't know if they're really going to land Lewandowski in the summer. Maybe. But outside of Nashville, Miami, and maybe Chicago, I don't believe in anybody in the East. So there's a good chance that Miami gets to the playoffs and they're able to just outscore everybody because everybody's so trash in the Eastern Conference. But when you get to that Nashville in the Eastern Conference final, or if you get past Nashville and you get to that final against a San Jose, against a Vancouver,
mhm,
then
yeah.
you're going to have a problem. If you end up against a Seattle, which is playing the best defense in the league, or at least one of the best defense in the league, they have probably the best goalie in the league right now. Like
Yeah.
those are going to be teams that are going to be tough to beat. But yeah, I do believe that in the regular season and even in the early parts of the playoffs, Miami can just out talent everybody and outscore everybody.
Yeah.
So if it was the Western Conference, on the other hand, dude, they're stacked from top to
Yeah.
bottom. You start from
Crazy.
Vancouver up top, San Jose, RSLs look good. LAFC has not lived up to what they should, but with the players they have, if they can get a coach that can figure it out, they'll be better. Actually, yeah. Wait, Dos Santos is still there, right? He never got fired. I thought he might get fired,
No.
but he's still there. Galaxy, if Klaus comes back with Paintsel and Peck, they're good. Like the Western Conference is stacked.
Yes, it is.
But the East, but because we're in the East, I think we luck out there a bit. What are you looking to happen during this break? Before today, I was gonna say we get a new coach, but I guess we recorded this on the perfect day because we know that's not even an option anymore. I don't know who thought that we're never gonna get Pep. That was never gonna happen.
So
I
is
thought
it
Xavi might happen, but go ahead.
so is it like Inter Miami official that we have the leading car salesman of Kendall Toyota?
Apparently,
Okay, so if it's Inter Miami official, then like there's nothing to look forward to aside from that. I mean, the one thing I
look.
do, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, look, we know that to coach a team that is led by Messi and Suarez and stuff, you need to be a certain caliber of either coach that
Yes.
commands respect, has experience with them, or knows them on a personal level, like Hoyos does. But there aren't many of those coaches out there right now. That's why Pep was one option, but we all knew that was probably not going to happen. And then the other one was Xavi, but Xavi doesn't look like he's coming. So I think it was Boss Daddy that said that Hoyos deserves it. I don't know if he deserves it, but he is the
Mm.
only option. So that's why he's going to stick around, because we literally have no options. I'm sorry, but they're not going to come in and get what's this guy's name that was with Philadelphia? Jim Curtin.
Oh,
They're not gonna hire Jim Curtin. Come on now. Like, do you
Let me
think Jim
tell you,
Curtin's
if I
gonna
was
come and coach Messi and Suarez? Get out of here. We don't got any other options.
First of all, like if I was Jim Curtin, I'd be flying around the country right now handing my resume out.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Why
open
this
spots.
guy? Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, if Jim Curtin doesn't get a job this year, then everybody just hates Jim Curtin.
You
Now,
should go to
as
Portland.
yeah, oof, that I think that would be a solid space for him.
Mhm.
I do think that if we're not going to get a good coach this year, then I don't think we're getting a good one next year either. Like, you think somebody's going to come and coach the last season? Well, it's 2 seasons, no, because we have that quick season
The
and then
short
the full
season and
season.
then the
Yeah.
full season. Yep.
So I
Sadly,
mean, hey, look, yeah, I mean, look, Boss Daddy's saying the return of Phil Neville.
yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
it's out there, baby. Put it out there, Boss Daddy. It might come back.
I think. Look, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I will tell you, I think that there's a bigger chance. And again, let me preface by saying I don't think that either one of them is gonna happen. But I think there's a bigger chance of Pep taking the U.S. men's national team job than there is an Inter Miami job. I think he would be up for a national challenge, like taking
Yeah.
over a national team that's always underachieving, than coming to Inter Miami. I really don't. I think he's achieved everything you can at the club level. I see him taking on that type of a challenge before he takes on an Inter Miami. I really do. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think either of the two happen, but I think there's more of a chance of that happening than him coming to coach Inter Miami.
I would love just to see like no coach on the sideline. Is that possible? Like
I
just no
don't.
coach? Like, is that
I mean, player coach.
legally possible? Like, can
Maybe if he's
Messi
a player
just
coach.
coach? Like, I think that would be fantastic. Like,
Real quick,
imagine.
you know, Inter Miami needs to do well in the regular season. Like, for everybody that thinks that it doesn't matter, we could just get in. Like, if you don't win the MLS Cup or Leagues Cup, like, how else are you gonna get into Champions Cup? You have to end up in one of the top teams in the Supporter Shield race.
Yeah.
You gotta be like a top 4 finisher, because everybody's like, oh yeah, but the big one is the CCC. Guess what? You have to qualify for the CCC, and at the moment, they haven't. So they need to do well. Like, they can't just sleep through the regular season. They need to do well to qualify for the CCC. So they need to finish the regular season, take it seriously, or win Leagues Cup, or end up in the runner-up. I think Leagues Cup gets in also,
Yeah.
or win MLS Cup. So there's still a lot to play for. But unfortunately, the Messi clock is running because we got him just for this half season. So real quick, during the break, do you know what I'm hoping for?
What's that?
I'm hoping that we just randomly sign Neymar. I don't know why, man. It just came in my head, and I'm just dying for it. I want to see Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. I really do. I know some people might be like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Oh my God, he's always injured." But I don't care. At this point, I don't care. Entertain me. They're gonna win, and if we're playing an extra aggressive offensive style of play, Neymar, Messi, and Suarez, they're gonna eat up this league in the 3 or 4 games that Neymar is healthy to play. Give it to me.
Has anybody been following? And Boss Daddy saying Casemiro's going to whisper in Neymar's ear, and then Francisco, I'm gonna try to get a computer during the summer, like legit. I am gonna get a new computer at some point in the summer. Has anybody followed what Busquets is doing? Like nobody's mentioned. What if Busquets comes to coach? Like for
Dude,
one season and then just
he was
jumps
beefing
out?
with Suarez. Why would he come back?
Like was he beefing? Is that out there in the
Supposedly.
okay, well, but what if he just comes one and done last season? Like you guys never know. You guys want to talk about all these other people that are open and available. You want to take Jim Curtin out. Like, I mean, who
Nobody wants
knows?
Jim Curtin.
What if Busquets comes and coaches for like 1 year and that's it? I mean, people are
Well-
mentioning freaking Fede Higuain. Like, why not?
Well, what's interesting is that in the next 12 months, so right now in June 2nd, 2026, from this June 2nd, 2026 to June 2nd, 2027, we have a chance at 2 MLS Cups, a CCC, a Leagues Cup. Like within the next 12 months, there's a lot of trophies to be had, including 2 extra stars.
Yeah.
So, it's a
Sexy.
lot. It is. It's going to be fun. All right. So we're going to keep coming on, like we said, with Battered Herons. We're going to keep coming on once or twice a week. The next episode we're going to do the grades. We're going to grade every player on the roster. That's usually a fun show.
We didn't even talk about Benha.
I mean, I brought it up briefly when you walked away from the screen.
Oh,
You know what we didn't talk about? And I guess because I feel like it would be a shame to not bring it up because it's been such a topic of conversation the first half of the season. The goalie situation.
I mean, that's your favorite because Dane St. Clair's your favorite goalie of all time, along with Beterame, your favorite striker of all time.
So, St. Clair, if he has a good World Cup, are you willing? Like, would you be like, all right, let's run it back, let's give him another chance? Because I'm okay at this point them making the change.
Like back to Rocco.
To Rocco or a new keeper or whatever. I'm
No, but
ready
you
for the
see,
change.
look at the ill words that you say, like oh Rocco or whoever. Like no, it's got to be Rocco.
It won't be Rocco.
So what? You're gonna go get? No, man, that's despicable. It has to be Rocco.
It won't be Rocco.
Yeah, it has to be Rocco.
It won't
Listen,
be
Boss
Rocco.
Daddy speaks for the people. Hashtag
The
Rocco
only way
in.
Rocco starts over St. Clair. I'm not talking. I don't know who else would come, but the only way that if St. Clair stays and he plays a good World Cup, the only way Rocco starts is if St. Clair gets sold to another team.
Mike V is saying that Dane St. Clair lost his job in Canada. Nick is saying Crépeau for Canada. Is that where we're at, guys?
I don't know.
No
Both had a
way.
pretty bad season also, so I don't know.
No way.
Yeah, I know. Well, Brian, I just told him, but apparently it's not enough to fact.
No, I
because
don't believe.
added
I don't
in-
believe it. I don't believe it. I
It's been
think
on
that
for
he
2 weeks. You know
hasn't.
what's been going on.
I think he has enshrined the jersey by Dane St. Clair. And by the way, shout out to Ben Hakramaki and his signing with
Cremita.
Cremita with Ben Krem and his signing with the Serie A team. I think that that's fantastic. And I hope that he recovers quickly. I'm surprised that they signed him considering the kind of injury he got. But I think it's a good move. And it's funny. I bet you he wishes that he would have been back. You think he wishes he would have been back, or you think he's
I
good
don't
where
know
he's
if-
at?
I think he's good where he's at. I'm sure he wished he would have gotten to play one more, like to end the season and then make the move.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Crépeau started the first friendly. Well, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the friendlies, but the majority of backup keepers got to start in those first friendlies to give them just a little bit of run. So, well, we'll see. But yeah, most of the starting goalkeepers did not start those friendly matches for any country, really. So
Yeah.
we'll see. All right. If you guys want to keep talking footy, well, again, for the World Cup, Battered Footy, but on the Battered Soccer Show, we're going to come on right now in a couple minutes. We're going to do the midseason awards for the MLS. So make sure that you jump in if you want to just talk a little more MLS. We're just going to give a couple of awards out, MVPs, Coach of the Year, Young Player of the Year, stuff like that. So make sure that you join us again in a couple minutes for that if you want to keep talking some footy. Appreciate everybody. Chris, any final words?
My phone is working better than my computer, so shout out to that. So I just gotta let my phone charge a little bit, and we'll be back at it like a crack addict.
How come you don't curve your brims?
I have, because I like, so there's the fitteds. I like them flat,
I feel
and
like it
then
looks so
usually
weird.
the snapbacks I usually bend it. I don't like all my hats bent. I like flat brims with the fitted. Why? You
I
used
don't
to
know.
wear flat bills.
Yeah, back when it was like a thing.
Yeah, and
But
it's still a thing. I
no,
still
it
rock
looks
flat
much
bills.
better. It looks much better when it
No,
has
I
a
don't
curve
like
to it.
it bent. Are you kidding me? And then I gotta bend it, and I'm gonna look like a weirdo. Like, no, and not all my
Most hats
hats.
come in already pre-curved, actually.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I used to do that a little bit, but no, I don't like it. I like the flatness, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. And that's it. There's
Got
some
you.
hats, like I got a hat here that's a bent bill. Okay. See, this is bent, right?
That looks normal. Yeah.
Now, this isn't a fitted, this is like the sports whatever, right? But
Mhm.
this is a little bent. I don't
Yeah.
like to do the Johnny special, you know. Well, I mean that's an
Uh,
inside joke.
yeah.
Shout out to Johnny.
All right. So again, we'll be back on Battered Soccer Fans in a couple minutes. So make sure that you jump onto that channel to keep talking. Appreciate everybody. And until the next one, have a good one.